There's an unspoken rule at the elite academy. Asterisk true aristocrats never finish everything on their plates. Asterisk. So the moment someone leaves not a single grain of rice behind, they're immediately marked as a commoner who snuck in. This is the aristocratic game devised by the 4 heirs of the 4 biggest financial dynasties. 100 freshmen are chosen to role-play. Those who aren't found out win a massive cash prize. Those who are, they either withdraw from the academy or pay a 10 million yuan penalty. And me, a broke student surviving on financial aid, and my assigned role, the arrogant, pampered daughter of a wealthy family. So, when I dragged my suitcase through the gates and saw a gaggle of young masters and misses blocking the entrance, I didn't hesitate for a second. Get out of my way, all of you. These precious, high-born heirs had never been spoken to like that in their lives. They spun around in fury, only to freeze the moment their eyes met my dark, indifferent gaze. Whatever they'd been about to say died in their throats. My expression was cool, my eyes aloof, like a proud, haughty king gazing down at a few insignificant ants. Everyone thought the same thing. Asterisk. This girl absolutely comes from an extraordinarily noble family. Asterisk faced with someone whose pedigree was clearly off the charts. They stepped aside to make way, but to their surprise, I didn't walk on. Instead, I pointed at a boy at random and commanded, "You, come here." Carry my suitcase. That boy was the very same one who'd led the charge in humiliating the 100 special students. When he'd been sneering at those students, he'd been all arrogance and contempt. But in front of this girl, he turned into a groveling lapdog. "It would be my pleasure. May I ask your name?" The girl frowned slightly, her delicate brows knitting together. "My surname is Chu. Asterisk Chu Yan." Asterisk. Doubt flickered through the crowd. There didn't seem to be a Chu family among the major financial dynasties. Then someone whispered, "Didn't the 4 young masters also arrange for some genuinely well-bred people to disguise themselves as ordinary students to make the game harder?" Understanding dawned on everyone. They became convinced that I was exactly that, one of those high-born young ladies pretending to be ordinary to raise the difficulty. Too bad. Really, no matter how hard this young lady tried to keep a low profile, her innate noble aura couldn't be hidden. "Miss Chu Yan, which dormitory are you in?" the boy carrying my luggage asked excitedly. My suitcase was a luxury brand from Country B, costing about 100,000 yuan. That was nothing special for students at College University. But in that boy's eyes, it was further proof that I was desperately trying to hide my true status. Building A. Room 401. I seemed utterly indifferent to the murmurs around me. I frowned again, a flicker of disdain in my eyes. "And don't call me miss." Asterisk Building A. Asterisk. That sealed it. Everyone's gazes toward me grew noticeably more respectful. After directing the boy to make my bed, the arrogance in my eyes vanished instantly. I shut the bedroom door, threw myself onto the mattress, and did a little victory dance. That was terrifying. Thank God I pulled it off. To make sure my fabricated identity wouldn't be suspected, I'd done a ton of prep work. First, I used 5 million yuan to buy some luxury goods to solidify my cover. Then I went out of my way to dig up background information on every major and minor financial family, while cramming on high society etiquette and common knowledge. Finally, I crafted my backstory. If I were a real young lady, wouldn't I have at least 1 or 2 friends of equal standing? So I gave myself a heart condition, a sickly, fragile girl who couldn't socialize much. That neatly explained the lack of friends. Plus, if I ever ran into a situation I couldn't handle, I could just fake an attack and bow out. I knew I was walking a tightrope. If my real identity was exposed 3 months from now, everyone I'd insulted would tear me apart. But I didn't care. I came to College University for 2 reasons. First, that massive pride money. And second, to latch on to someone rich and powerful. If I managed to catch someone from a good family, then no matter how much everyone else hated me, what could they really do? The first day of class should have been prime networking time for all these young heirs, but since no one could openly talk about their family backgrounds, enthusiasm for small talk dwindled. Besides, most of their attention was fixed on a gorgeous boy sitting by the window. Suddenly, someone gasped, "Look, someone's about to sit next to Chu Yan." What the hell? That person is so average looking, so plain. What right does he have to sit beside Chu Yan? Maybe because they were worried about making me angry. My classmates kept their voices deliberately low. The comments didn't reach my ears, so I clearly heard the person who spoke to me. Hey, can I sit in this seat next to you? I turned my head slightly. Nibaisi was momentarily dazzled by my looks. Then she pressed her palms together, her adorable puppy dog eyes fixed on me in earnest pleading. Please, please, I really want to sit next to you. Someone wanted to get on my good side. I wasn't about to say no. The image I wanted to project was that of a proud, aloof girl with a secretly soft, warm heart, cold on the outside, warm on the inside. The contract would not only help me make friends, but also attract my future tycoon boyfriend. Just when Nibaisi thought I wouldn't agree, she heard a voice like celestial music. Fine. Overjoyed, Nibaisi tried to see my expression, but the girl had already turned back to stare out the window. Unbothered, she quickly pulled out the chair and plopped down.